Do you have 5 minutes? Just actually a little less than 5 minutes. How long is 30 seconds? How long is just 30 seconds? Well, it really depends on what side of the bathroom door you happen to be standing on. Time is relative, but yet time is very important. Right now, time is becoming difficult for many people. Many of us across this country and around the world have been required to stay home. There is a stay-at-home order in place, and we really truly need to obey it. And yet, as we stay home, there's anxiety, there's anxiousness about work, and worry about work and family, and the fact that we just want to do things and not stay at home. Yet, there's this need to stay at home because of the pandemic that is going around. And it seems like it is lasting forever. For those that are sick, or for those that are perishing, it is indeed an eternity, and it is quite terrible. But for most of us, it is a simple inconvenience. The people of God across the centuries have had to learn to wait, from the waiting for the coming of the Messiah to the waiting for his return. And this particular week, we remember another time of waiting, which happened to be one night, and that is the Passover. For this week is Holy Week, but it is also the week in which we celebrate the Passover. Let me read you just a few words here from Scripture that talk about the Passover. Hear this reading from Exodus 12, which is the Passover passage. Then they are to take some of the blood and put it on the sides and tops of the door frames of the houses where they eat the lambs. That same night they are to eat the meat roasted over the fire along with bitter herbs, and bread made without yeast. Do not eat the meat raw or boiled in water, but roasted over a fire with the head, legs, and internal organs. Do not leave any of it till morning. If some is left till morning, you must burn it. This is how you are to eat it, with your cloak tucked into your belt, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. On that same night I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals, and I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. Continuing at 29. At midnight the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on the throne, to the firstborn of the prisoner who was in the dungeon, and the firstborn of all the livestock as well. Pharaoh and all his officials and all the Egyptians got up during the night, and there was a loud wailing in Egypt, for there was not a house without someone dead. The Passover was only for one night, but yet it was very important on that night, because if anybody stepped outside of their house for even just a moment after midnight, they would have perished. Those who were within the houses that were covered with the blood on the lintel were spared. Right now we are experiencing our Passover. We need to stay indoors. We need to stay at home. If there is something we absolutely must do, yeah, sure, go to the store and get your food. But apply common sense while you're there. And shorten your time. For every time we go out, it's a chink in the armor. Just last night I learned of some people who thought, well, they don't have anything, and if they already do have it, it's no big deal because they've already got it. So they went out and actually went to a block party where people were having potluck dinners. That's dangerous. A covered dish dinner is dangerous right now. And maybe not for you or for me, but if, let's say, we have the illness, we may give it to someone else that could cause them to perish. This is our Passover. Right now it is time to stay home. My dear friends, this will pass, and we will be on the other side of this before you know it. But for right now, we just need to stay indoors and rest in the promise that God will provide, for this too will pass. God be with you and bless you, and stay at home, please.